empathy data for this project, I observed during the Olivia Rodrigo and the Lainey concerts that I have been to the past month or so. And I actually sat behind a woman in a wheelchair, a motorized wheelchair at the Olivia Rodrigo concert. And something that I noticed is there's really few options for people in wheelchairs where they sit. So that's one disability that I noticed while I was there. I feel like they could offer more seat selection for people in wheelchairs.
So the event I went to gather empathy data was, I went to the Barbie Bash and then also the Red Bull dance qualifier. And what I noticed is at the Barbie Bash they had a runway and for everyone to kind of strut down, and one thing that they had ramps and stuff for people in wheelchairs to be accessible so that they could also get up, but a lot of the rooms weren't super accessible for them because they're kind of small, but the main room was really big and spacious, so that was. And then at the Red Bull dance qualifier, it wasn't that accessible for those who might have physical disabilities because it was at the depot in Salt Lake City and it was really just packed as many people as they could in there, so I didn't really see any place for accessibility.
Hi, so I had the opportunity to go to the BYU basketball game in the Marriott Center. Also, that's a huge venue, lots and lots of people there. And so as I watched the game, I kind of looked around to see where I could see marginalized groups being designed for. And honestly, a lot of those sports venues have places for wheelchairs that they can sit and people with disabilities that can get around a little bit easier. But I couldn't help but think still, you kind of get sectioned off by yourself. So I'd love to see more design place for those guys to go, that they can be more immersed in the crowd and in the game, besides just kind of off to the side where it was most easy for them. Yeah.
The event that I observed was the BYU Battle of the Bands, hosted in one of the Wilk ballrooms. This event was open to the public. There were a lot of college students there, but because people were performing, families and friends and other people could come. One marginalized group that I did see being designed for was specifically senior citizens. This event was meant to kind of be more of a general admission, but they have seats all along the back. Some details that were missing from this event was even though you could sit down, the crowd was blocking people. So maybe if they had more raised seating, and one thing that could affect this is maybe in the entrance have earplugs for people, so if it was too loud, people could have earplugs.
So I attended a Lainey concert at the Delta Center in Salt Lake, and I was able to see a lot of areas where marginalized groups were designed for, specifically for those with accessibility needs. There were plenty of elevators and ramps to get into the arena and to be able to navigate the outer ring. However, I did notice that within the arena, it didn't seem like it would be very easy to get to seats. Basically, everything was accessible only by stairs, and so I can see how that might be quite an obstacle for those who are in wheelchairs or have limited physical ability to be able to access all parts of the arena. There may be parts that are specifically for those with physical disabilities, but it would be a much more limited space than everybody else, making it a less enjoyable experience for those with physical disabilities.
Marginalized groups such as people with limited physical ability and language barriers need a place where they belong and have the confidence to get involved, because oftentimes marginalized groups' needs are not designed for, leading to them feeling excluded and unable to participate. The event we decided to focus our ideation and solutions on is BYU's Education Week.
So one of the solutions that we ideated and we want to actually prototype for Education Week to make sure that we are able to involve everyone is live translation. We want everyone to be able to come to Education Week and feel like they're welcomed and feel like they can get something out of it. And so this is a large population of non-English speakers, and so what we want to do is take advantage of the MTC, but not only the MTC, but BYU as a whole has a very large amount of speakers from other languages and things like that. And so we want to gather volunteers that can be in every room for Education Week that can live translate what is going on so that people with headsets can listen and learn just as much as everyone else. And so this is just one solution that we thought of to make everyone more comfortable in coming to Education Week and make it more broad for people to come and learn.
Another solution that we came up with for Education Week was to have an inner shuttle service around campus. Currently, Education Week offers a shuttle service around the outside of campus, but there's nothing for those who might have a hard time being on their feet for long periods of time. So we have decided to implement a shuttle service that will go around buildings that have classes going on so that people can have easier access to buildings within campus.
Another solution that we had for Education Week was making a digital map. And this would focus more on people with physical disabilities. We want to make sure that everyone can make their way around campus as efficient and have less problems as possible. One of these solutions was to have a shuttle and a route and time. And so on this digital map, there can be the shuttle routes and times, so you can go to the easiest point, make your way around campus. To make the map have different contrast colors and symbols so that people can recognize where they are and how to get around.
The last idea that we were prototyping was reducing the area of Education Week as a whole. So what that would mean is instead of having the classes in places like the Tanner Building and the Richards Building like they've had in years past, we would just limit it to one area or one surface. So it would just stay near the Wilk and the JSB, just to make it easier for those individuals who have accessibility needs to get around, and also it would be easier for the shuttle service to stay on one area of campus.
We hope everyone can enjoy Education Week
as much as we do.